What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mind of Iggy. Just my little shorts here. Just want to talk a little bit about just what's going on in my mind. Sending a lot of prayers out to my Uncle Rick, who's getting ready to transition into the next realm. Where we go, nobody knows, really. Kind of this leads me into my talk a little bit. When we think about things, we really don't know anything. We have and we know what we know because of what we create and what we make and what we design in order to work and function to a certain thing. There are some things that we create a system to create measurements, create ideas. But the thing is, if we would have created these systems differently, they would still work. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way we create the system. So it's not that it's an absolute, it's just a formal way of making a calculation. So my question is, what do we really know about anything? I mean, we say that the universe is a carbon-based universe, but yet we've never left this planet except we've had made material that's fallen on this planet. But the universe is in the galaxies and it's expansive and it's huge. So how do we know anything? We only know what we know, right? So we work from the foundation, the premise of from what we know, and how we can measure units of chemistry or units of time, units of anything. So this illusion that we think that we know everything is kind of stupid, kind of a faith-driven thing. It's kind of like, those of us who believe in angels and those of us who believe in the afterlife, those of us who believe in God, those of us who believe in whatever. And I'm not here to say that that may not be true for you, but who's to say it's real? Who's to say if it really exists, if it is a true existence? Now, what makes the existence real? The belief that it's real, or the faith that we hold of it being real? There are a lot of people who, and I was reading a message here online, how somebody was, worried about somebody else's soul. So they said they wouldn't pray for them and they want to take them to church, blah, blah, blah. Which is very arrogant, if you ask me, to assume that somebody's not happy in the position there is. But truly, we don't know anything. We really don't know anything. We just know where we're at in this present moment. Now, the illusion is that we think that we know what happens, that we know what goes on, because we put our faith and trust in things. We put our heart and our spirit and our soul into those things that we believe. And if they're real enough for us, they become real inside of our spirit and our soul. But the truth is the matter, in my mind, is we don't really know. We don't know anything. We could be a dust ball in a corner of a welding shop, living here, floating around, and no one's disturbed us because we've been sitting back there so deep in the dust bowl. We don't know anything. We can assume, and our imagination can create and move out into quantum spectrums of, believing. But what do we really know? The only thing we really know is that we wake up, we go to sleep, we go to the bathroom, we eat, we have emotional moments where we're really happy or we break down. The crux of life that we created, the things that we do every day repetitively, the things that we don't do, the things that we put off, the things that we don't share, the things we don't talk about, those can be real. But who's to say that there are angels? But I saw one. But your chemistry and your brain can create things. It's kind of like someone who has a mental disorder. People who have schizophrenia, they can create other people in their minds. They can create things that aren't they're really there, right? It's the chemistry, according to science, according to doctors. So who's to say we don't do that? Who's to say we don't have a mass delusion, of creating things together? Now, I'm not here to poo-hoo anything or anybody, but if you feel that way, my apologies. That's not my point. My point is, how do we really know? We only know because of everybody who's come before us has told us this story and passed this story along, that things are this way and things should be this way and things have to be that way. And so this story gets repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated, and we go through the same rigors all the time. All the time we go through the same flows, in the same waves, in the same lows. But my dad did it, my mom did it, everybody did it, you know. So what are we creating? What are we creating in our minds? Because creation comes from our mind, from what's inside of us. And then it just moves through our body and works its way out. Some of you will agree with me, some of you won't. But I'm not here for asking you to agree. I'm just asking for you to listen and hear that everybody thinks differently. That not everybody thinks the same way. Now, why do other people have more than others? Is it because they're lucky? Is it because they manifest better? Is it timing? What is it? What could it be? Why isn't it not everybody in the world have like others have? Is there opportunity? Oh, I was born poor. No, it's called programming, friends. It's the programming that you believe. It's the hogwash that we believe. It's the stuff that tells us we're not good enough. You know, that person's gonna, well, I don't know what to do. You know, it's all the little things that knock us off our personal pedestals. Things that puts us in these corners, puts us in these crux of thinking. So everything that we look at is a reflection of who we are and what we see. The things we look for in nature, the things we look for in life, or the things are the messages to us that we look for. Now, there are people who are really connected to spirit because they're connected to things externally. There are people who are just connected to spirit because they feel it in their heart and they know it's to be true. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't work that way. It just makes you wonder if anything really truly exists in the way we think it exists. Or do we have it all wrong? No, but it's this way. It's always been this way. It's always been this way because we've kept it this way. Everything is the way it is because we've kept it this way. Nothing changes, nothing moves because we keep it comfortable. So, you know, sometimes we can sit here and wonder and we can ponder about things and why things don't work out the way they do. And then sometimes we just go, hey, you know what? I don't have the answer. And it's okay not to have the answer. That's the whole point of it. The whole point is that there are going to be some of us who are never going to obtain the truth. But then there are other ones who will. There are others who will. There's others who will obtain the things they want. I always find it fascinating how one person can be rich and one person can be poor, and they're both from the same family. Are they poor and rich because of their beliefs, or because of their heart, or because they just have the DNA and the ideas and the chemistry in the brain that separate that from themselves? Because there's a lot of things we don't know. There's a lot of elements and chemistries in the universe and things that we don't even know about. There are elements that we've never discovered yet. Yet we say that the universe is made out of a carbon-based universe. That we're made from the stars, right? If we're made from the stars, then that means there's some things out there that we still don't know about. There's some things about us that we still don't know about. There's some things that we don't know how we function. You know, everybody says, well, it's because electricity runs through our body, the blood flows through our system. You know, the doctors may say this is how this is how they say it, you know, mechanically and spiritually or however. But when you think about it, it's kind of a cool miracle to be alive, to be a human being. You know, the way we work and the way we function is a lot like a computer or some kind of artificial intelligence. You know, are we artificial intelligence? Do we have breakdown in our microchips where our emotional chips start to dysfunction and start to deteriorate, and we start to have these, you know, because when you look at it, you know, even computers break down, right? They're designed to break down. They're designed to be recalibrated. They're designed to find new pieces and parts and put them in there. Because we have all the elements to create until our body is made. Our body's the same way. Our body has gold, it has silver, it has copper, nickel. It has all the elements in there. And all those little pieces and parts inside of us. You know, it's got all the minerals in there. We have to have minerals in order for it to function. So we have proper function, right? Why is that? No one ever really truly asked that. We're just told we need to take our vitamins, take our calcium, take our potassium, our magnesium, all this stuff, so we can have, you know, good functionality. But I find it really interesting. We really don't know anything. We don't even know if there's a heaven. We don't know if there's a hell. We don't know if there's anything. Oh, but Iggy, but I know I've been there. You may have been there, but remember, your mind is so powerful. Your mind right here inside this box, inside this skull, there lies this tissue, this synapses of firing, energy that moves and creates. And it has memories, and it has filing cabinets, and it takes you on wonderful dreamscapes when you go to sleep. Inside here, inside your brain, it's never seen light, okay? Imagine never seeing light, your brain, and not knowing what it is. The only thing your brain does is translates and tries to figure out what it saw, what it's seeing, and plays it back. Like the touch in our fingers, Those are the electricity impulses, the impulses from our brain trying to figure out what that feeling is. So there's parts of us who have never been ever exposed to light. And I find it very fascinating that our brain is so powerful that it can create and cripple us, or it can create and make us unstoppable all at the same time. So what is it? Is it real? Not real? Is the world that we see real? Is the world that we're projecting into our brain real? As we translate all this information back to us, what do we really know? We don't really know anything. We think we know everything, and we think we're sophisticated, but yet we really don't know. But we have to have faith, and we have to have trust that what we're seeing is going to be that thing. And I think that's where humans' strengths come from. Believing and trusting in things they don't necessarily tangibly see. So we have to believe that whatever that our ancestors have shared with us is that to be true. But yet our ancestors and modern day people also destroy the things of our predecessors before us. How can we learn if we destroy history, if we rewrite history, if we suppress history? World history is all of our history, not just designated to one population or one group of people. No. World history is everyone's history, because everybody has been affected by the history of the world, by man and woman's interaction to the world. Everything. You have to remember, it's everything. It's a global thing. It's not one of those things that we can separate in little boxes. No. The world's too big for that. The world has always been too big for that. What we know is what we know. And what we don't see is what we don't see, because we no longer have the perception to open to those waves, those energies. But anyhow, just thoughts. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. Just here to share some thoughts on mine. You can agree or disagree. That's okay, because that's what it's about. It's about trusting each other in the moments that we are given. When we're with other human beings, when we're with a group of people, is to trust and to have the best possible outcome with those people, and have the best possible moment with them. Because that's all we have, really. In the end, that's all we really truly have, is this moment now, the now. And like I said, when we're in the now, we've won. W-O-N. We won. We win because we're present with ourselves. And this is a topic that you can spin off into many directions and go in many different channels in many different ways. But anyhow, prayers to all the folks who are not well. Prayers to all my friends and family who are sick. Prayers to all my friends and family who are transitioning from this realm to the next. In my belief system, I believe that there is a different place we go to. It's kind of like the caterpillar, to the butterfly. Our DNA completely changes and structure changes. And do we remember? Possibly. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But the information is there. Our DNA is there. The DNA is different, but there are some strands always left behind to remember. All right. It's good to be here. You guys have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Be well. We'll check back with you guys soon. Iggy Garcia Live will be soon here, so look for my podcast wherever podcasts are free. And then subscribe on YouTube and keep up with all the stuff that I share. All right, guys, have a good evening. I'll talk to you soon. Be well.